We'll take an opening statement from Coach Service, and then we'll have questions for the student athletes, and then let them get on the bus and get ready to go, and then we'll have questions for Coach. Coach, ready when you are.
Well, Arkansas played a heck of a game. Give them a lot of credit. They were good in all three phases. Their pitcher was outstanding. He threw a lot of pitches. He threw 3 pitches, quality pitches for strikes. Obviously, offensively, they were on point tonight. You know, drove the baseball, hit several home runs, and then defensively they made the play. So, give them all the credit. You know, they certainly outplayed us tonight.
Jackson, get us going.
For both of you guys, just can you kind of go into what made Root kind of what was difficult for you guys facing Root tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he, like Coach said, he commanded 3 pitches for strikes. Fastballs to both sides of the plate, and he's got some velocity and some perceived velocity when it's in, too, especially when he's throwing the changeup for strikes before that. You know, he's a heck of a pitcher. I would imagine he'll be an early round draft pick this year, so, yeah.
Yeah, like Ben said, he had 4 good pitches that he could put wherever he wanted. I thought the fastball was really lively, and then his breaking balls and changeups off of that was pretty good as well.
I guess from an offensive standpoint, watching the at-bats they put together, and especially the power swings they had, what became overwhelming about their offense, I guess, tonight?
Yeah, I think they controlled the zone really well. We were throwing a lot of pitchers' pitches that 50-50 might be a strike, might be a ball, and I thought it was a great zone tonight, to be honest. Major league zone, and they were getting in hitters' counts, and they're putting good swings on pitches that they're selling out for.
Yeah, credit to them. They were really disciplined with their approaches. Seemed like they had a great plan going in, and then they attacked the pitches that they're hunting. So, got to give credit to them.
Just in terms of tomorrow, it could be your last day together. How do you approach it?
Yeah, I think we've played our best baseball this year when our backs have been up against the wall. So we're going to play fast, we're going to play hard, we're going to play loose like we always do, and I believe that if we do that, we'll be successful.
Yeah, just going to play our game at a high level, and good things are going to happen.
Any more questions for student athletes? Well, thanks for the time. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, questions for Coach Service?
You mentioned you'd seen Arkansas on TV a few times this year. What were your impressions of kind of just their ability to kind of just constantly, you know, get the big hit, put pressure on your pitching staff, all that kind of stuff once you saw it live?
Well, really, it starts at a mound for them too. You know, that pitcher set the tone tonight. You know, I think that when you have a pitcher that is dominant as he was, that relaxes your hitters. You know, the hitters know they don't have to do as much. And then, you know, I said it last night too. Offense is such a momentum part of this game. And once they got the lead, you know, their swings were different. They drove the ball better. And, you know, I'm not totally surprised. You know, I knew they were a physical team. I knew they had some power. Obviously, the numbers showcase that. So, but we walked 12 hitters tonight. And there's no way you can beat a team like this walking 12 hitters.
Coach, I think it was Aloy's first home run. He swung at a pitch at his head, and then it was kind of a similar spot. Did the pitcher miss a spot by a little bit lowering it, or was it a good pitch that he just hit over the front?
You know, that was a pretty good pitch. You have to give him a ton of credit. There's not a lot of college hitters that are going to get on top of that pitch and do what he did with it. But he's a heck of a player. You know, it wasn't just tonight. He's done that all year. But that showcased a little bit of his ability and his athleticism, because not a lot of college guys are going to hit that pitch. They're going to swing through it, at best foul it off. And for him to get on top of it and drive it, you know, 350-some feet for a home run, says a lot about the kind of player he is.
What do you want on the guys' minds is when their heads hit the pillows tonight about what tomorrow's about?
Well, it's another opportunity for us to play together as a group, as a team. We know it's going to be a challenge, you know, to try to first of all, North Dakota State's playing as well as, as certainly as we are right now. I mean, they played Arkansas very well on Friday. They beat KU today. We played them already twice this season, and we split with them. So, but I think when you lose by as much as we did, it doesn't hurt quite as much. You're anxious to turn the page. I feel fortunate that we have another game tomorrow. Otherwise, this one might linger a little bit. But this team has always been, the younger generation, they can let go a lot easier than folks like myself. So they're not having any problem with it. They'll show up tomorrow, and you'll see the effort that you've seen from our guys all year.
Coach, do you know who you're going to start tomorrow in the first game, and just how do you feel about your pitching as a whole?
Well, we have a starter available in Jack Pino. Jack's been our Saturday, Sunday starter the whole year. So Jack will go. And it's obvious we need some innings out of Jack tomorrow. We can't go to the bullpen in the second or third inning. We haven't used two of our high-leverage bullpen guys yet in the first two games, so we're sitting pretty good there. We do have a guy available if we get to the second game tomorrow that can start. But we're not going to worry too much about that. We got a lot of work to do in that first one. But, Jack Pino has pitched a lot for us. So if he's in the strike zone, he'll give us 5 or 6 innings, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I guess just what were your impressions of Wilson's outing? Obviously a younger guy in a postseason setting.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to put a freshman in. And I thought he got off to a relatively good start. He was throwing a lot of strikes. And then he hit a little bump in the road, and it's hard for a young player to kind of navigate through that. But he was our best option tonight. I have zero regrets in giving the ball to Wilson in this environment. He was our best guy. He pitched in a tough situation last weekend in the Big East tournament and did outstanding. So it was our best option. I don't know if we would have had too many guys on our staff that would have been able to beat them tonight. I mean, they were locked in. They were just a better team than us tonight, clearly.
And then what were you saying to your team in the huddle before the game?
That we need to get some rest, that tomorrow hopefully is a long day for us, that we need to play the way we're capable in the first game, that we do get another opportunity to play another game. And, there's no guarantees after that, but we know we have the opportunity at 2 o'clock to play. And I would be very, very surprised if they're not ready to go.
I guess obviously you have the game against North Dakota State first, but are there things you can take from tonight that, you can maybe table for the rest of the weekend if it does come to a rematch?
Yeah, we can't fear contact. Sometimes when you get in offensive ballparks like this and a guy hits one out early, your pitchers kind of get on their heels a little bit. You just can't afford to do that. There's going to be home runs. They're physical players, they're talented players. You just can't give up 12 free bases with walks, a couple hit by pitches, and expect to even have a chance against a team of this nature. So that's what we'll take from it. If we're fortunate enough to get another opportunity, we got to be more aggressive on the mound. It's as simple as that.
Any more questions for Coach? Coach, we'll let you go.
Okay, thanks, guys.
And then questions for student athletes. Let them go, and then we'll questions for Coach. Coach, ready when you are.
Okay. Just thought, we played a complete game. Zach pitched great. We played good defense. And obviously got some timely hits, hit some home runs. They put us on base a few times. They walked us probably 10, 12 times. And, some of them were in the middle of the game when we, had things under control a little bit. But really it was because, we pitched extremely well, threw a lot of strikes, and, made them earn everything they got. Creighton hit a couple balls hard at us, but for the most part, I thought Zach just did a tremendous job of kind of setting the tone. And then offensively, we got some big hits, especially with 2 outs, that created a little bit of separation. And, it was a good ball game for us.
All right, questions for student athletes? Coach,
Zach, I think the majority of your strikeouts tonight, you got them looking. I'm just curious, what were you doing to kind of fool them there?
Yeah, it was just mixing well and kind of not falling into patterns. That's kind of what the approach was. We saw last night when they kind of got all their hits. It was the pitcher was falling into patterns, and they kind of knew it was coming. So Just keep mixing, moving the ball around the plate, and keep them off balance.
Vahiva, I think it was your first home run. The pitch was pretty high. I'm just curious, kind of, what did you see in that at bat, and just kind of how did it feel?
I was just being kind of too aggressive beginning of the bat, but just kind of trusting my bat to ball skills and just kind of just swinging, and I went over the fence, so it's good.
Zach, I think the two Creighton players we spoke to talked about your fastball tonight, and I think you might have touched 98 at one point on the track, man. I mean, could you feel the velo was maybe at a different place and having an impact tonight?
Yeah, and that was the game plan. Zach Barr, director of scouting, put together a plan. It was, they're not in a Power 5 conference, and the thought process was they haven't really seen the velo that we've got. So just going out there and make them hit the heater. That's what I went out and did.
Vahiva, you and Ryder tonight are I think the only two guys in the starting lineup that were here last year and lost on this Saturday night. How special was it to have the 2-run home runs, both of you guys, and making such a big impact tonight to put y'all one win from the Supers?
Yeah, it's very cool. Just kind of compete and just help our team win no matter what. And if the job's not finished, we got one more, so yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, Zach, I mean, you hadn't really pitched in a little bit. What was just kind of the, prep going into today and just your mentality?
Yeah, it was just treat it like every other game. You don't make it any bigger than it has to be, and obviously this game means a lot. But you go out there and treat it like any other start, and you'll be in a good headspace.
Aviva, the high schoolers from Hawaii, I think, are out there in the hog pen and left field and waving the Hawaiian flags. I mean, how special is it to have a game like this in front of a bunch of home state kids?
Yeah, it's very cool they're able to come out and support us. I wish I had that when I was growing up, just coming out here and just seeing what SEC or Arkansas baseball is all about. So it's a good experience for them.
I guess for you, Zach, even though it was at ECU last year, just how, sweet is it to get redemption given everything that went down last year?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, last year we hosted a regional and we didn't get out of it, and obviously we're in a great spot right now, so let's just keep going tomorrow.
Great job. See you tomorrow.
Dave, I'm curious what your viewpoint was on Vahiva's first home run, kind of where the pitch location was, and what you thought of that.
Yeah, I saw a lot of built-up frustration in that swing, and he absolutely tomahawked it. I mean, it's basically what he did. He clubbed it, and he got him a fastball, and I think if it was going to be from about the bill of the helmet down, he was going to hit it, and he hit it hard. He didn't get all of it, but he hit it hard, a lot of bat speed there, and it was a really big swing. It went from 4 to 7 right there, and you can kind of catch your breath a little bit.
And with Root, could you kind of tell early on that this was going to be one of those games, like we've seen a few times this year, where he was going to pitch as well as he did?
Well, even a couple of the games that didn't go well for him, he'd have an inning or two. He looked awfully good. But he looked awfully good right from the beginning of the first inning, and we felt like he had really good stuff. He had a breaking ball that he could land, and fastballs in the mid-90s very consistently, and he's throwing a little bit of a change-up here and there, and maybe a cutter. But yeah, we felt like that he was going to be really good today, and he had a good week rest, and felt good getting him out of there. With 94 pitches, if the game would have stayed a little tighter, we'd have let him go more.
Seemed like just from seeing the team interacting before the game, there was a looseness about them. I mean, how beneficial is that in this moment for them to kind of play with that attitude?
I think we were loose, but I think we were pretty serious today. You could just tell, I've been around them a lot, obviously, and I really didn't have to say anything to them today, like, hey, we need to lock in or anything. I just watched them, and they just seemed really like they were focused.
Ryder's had a couple of those moonshot home runs this season that go very high. I mean, what is it about his swing that's conducive to balls going super high and still leaving the yard?
Well, it's strength, but he has really good bat speed, and He's got a short swing, and he creates a lot of backspin, and the ball just kind of rode out. I didn't know if it was going to leave when it left the bat. I knew it was going to be really close. And, you know, I don't know. Just I think he's super confident, swinging the bat well. Got 3 more hits tonight, drove in 3. And, you know, just like what I'm seeing from him at the plate.
In terms of future pitching, I mean, how much of it is a luxury to get past this 1-0 game and not have to, you know, do that extra losers game?
You know, you go 2-0, 1-1. It's mentally, it's a big difference. And then, you know, knowing you have the burden of knowing that how many more games you have to win to try to get to Monday, and you know, it weighs on you a little bit. But you know, winning this game and not having to get into our bullpen too much, you know, frees us up to get ready for tomorrow with the thought that you know, we've got a lot of guys available.
And I guess what's it like having a guy like Cam in a postseason setting? Seems like he's just always setting the tone.
Yeah, that opposite field home run, the double. You know, we were going to maybe bunt, move him around, and then took it off, and he hits a double. And you know, he's swinging it really good right now. And you know, just kind of relaxes when we hit that home run. We had a 1-0 lead, then all of a sudden it became 2-0. You know, little things stand out to me, like Robinette beating that throw to second on the infield single, and what happened, maybe a walk or two, and then we punched in another, or hit by pitch, and you know, all those little things add up.
6 runs yesterday after 1 game in 12 days, and then more today. Is part of that just more at bats, getting back into the rhythm of the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. You know, maybe we're a little more rested, but then also, you know, we got to play real baseball yesterday, and here we are again today. And I mean, Creighton's really good. I watched him yesterday, and I was kind of like, wow, these guys are good. Physical. They're older. They've got power. They can run. A lot of lefties that can play. I mean, they're good. And I think our guys saw that. I saw our guys sitting up there watching the game yesterday, and they saw that they had their hands full, and they locked in.
Is the plan to start Gage tomorrow?
Yeah.
As far, I thought Davelin, you know, you look at his numbers today, he was 0 for 2, but he was constantly setting the table in some of those innings. What did you think about what he was able to do?
Did a great job, leadoff man. I think he walked twice and got hit by 2 pitches. That's 4 on base right there. And then he lined out to third. You know, it's the luck of the game sometimes. You know, just great job getting pitch counts up. Yeah, I thought he had a great night without getting hit.
Had you seen Still Eves pitch as well as he did tonight?
It might have been his best, but you know, he's older now. It's you know, it's the end of his freshman year. So, you know, you can say he's not a freshman anymore. He still is, but stronger and confident. And he's never had any problem getting on the mound and pitching as far as scared. He's not scared, and you can tell that. That's why I love that. And yeah, his stuff was good. I mean, you throw like that, it makes you want to, you know, put him in there when, you know, game's tight. Maybe a leverage situation. I'd have no problem with it now.
With what you were saying about guys watching the Creighton game yesterday, is that something that they orchestrated? Was that something that, you know, you suggested so they could
stay here? No, we don't make them stay. They like baseball. I've commented on this before. We got a lot of guys on this team that like baseball. They like each other, hanging out, and you know, they could take a shower and go home and lay on the couch and watch games. But I saw a bunch of guys here, you know, watching that second game, which was good to see.
Any more questions for Coach? Go ahead, Jack.
How valuable is it having Robinette's approach? I mean, the 3 walks night at the bottom of the order.
Tremendous job. We talked about it after the game before we came up here. You know, his on-base percentage has been really good. And, you know, in that inning, we ended up scoring, I think, the second inning when I think we had a runner on first and second and looked like we were going to bunt, and then Kozel doubles. We got a run in. We got on second and third. And it looks like we're not going to score another run. And then he gets a big 2-out hit, and all of a sudden we got another one in. That was a huge swing for us. And then, you know, obviously he walked 3 times on the day and just saw a lot of pitches and played great defense. A play made to his right, made a perfect throw to second. I mean, the runner that hit it's like a tremendous runner, and It was close. It was really good defensive play. So he's done a great job for us.
Great job. See you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.